Hello and welcome to Smaulgld's update on the Central Bank of Kazakhstan's gold reserves. Today is Friday the 13th. Central Bank of Kazakhstan gold reserves topped Spain's in August. The National Bank of Kazakhstan passed the Central Bank of Spain in August to claim 18th place among gold holding nations. Last month we reported that in July, Kazakhstan's gold reserves moved them firmly into the top 20 as they passed 20th place Austria. The way Kazakhstan moved into 18th place in August was they added 150,000 ounces of the shiny metal, and that is about 4.67 tons, which brings their gold reserves up to almost 286 tons or 9.18 million ounces. Quite an achievement for a country with a relatively small GDP, even though it has a wide geographic area. Last year, Kazakhstan added a very nice, respectable 36 tons of gold, or approximately 1.163 million ounces. So far this year, through August, Kazakhstan has added 27.371 tons of gold, and they will probably add a little more than 36 tons in 2017. A very remarkable thing about the monthly gold additions by Kazakhstan is August marked the 59th month in a row that the Central Bank of Kazakhstan added gold to reserves. That is quite a record. Even though Russia has been adding gold, they have missed a few months along the way the past few years. So 59 months in a row, that is a current record. And that's three more than Joe DiMaggio's famous 56-game hitting streak. So Kazakhstan on a big streak here in adding gold reserves. Now, we must point out that Kazakhstan is a relatively large gold producer. So they have been, I suppose, mining their own supply and adding it to their reserves. We're going to take a look at their overall reserve position and see how gold fits into that. What you can see here, at the beginning of January, or the beginning of 2015, Kazakhstan had about a little under 200 tons of gold, and now they have just a little under 300 tons of gold. Definitely adding gold along the way. Now, the number one gold country that's adding to reserves is Russia. 2015, they added 206 tons. Last year to 199. This year, it looks like they're going to top 200 tons again. And then behind them was China, who added a decent amount in 2016. However, the People's Bank of China has not added an ounce of gold to her reserves since October 2016. So unless they make some big announcement after they finish their Communist Central Planning meeting this October, that they've added more gold that they haven't accounted for, or they just make a couple of big additions at the end of the year, Kazakhstan will end up being the country that has added the second most amount of gold during the year, unless maybe Turkey makes a big addition. But remember, Turkey sold gold in 2016. Basically what they're doing is adding it back. Kazakhstan, as we mentioned, has this 59-game hitting streak of adding gold. They don't add a lot every month. They have between 50 and 150,000 ounces, 2 to 4 tons, 2 to 5 tons. But still, adds up. And they added 150,000 ounces in August. Here's the pitch. If you want to buy Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin, not investment advice, but we can make it easy for you on Smaulgld, smaulgld.com, below this BitChute, below this VidMe, below this YouTube, there's a link where you can open up a Coinbase account. Again, not investment advice, but if you do, you can get $100. You get $10 worth of free Bitcoin when you buy $100 worth, and Smaulgld gets $10 worth of free Bitcoin. Not a bad deal if you're looking to get involved in that space. If you're not looking to get involved in that space and you want to donate to Smaulgld, you can do so via PayPal. You could become a patron. You can send Bitcoin, Litecoin, anything. And any amount is appreciated. And all those links are below, and they're also on the website. Let's continue with Kazakhstan. Now, Kazakhstan's overall reserves are 32 billion. It's really not a lot in the sense of the grand scheme of things. But again, It's this country that has modest finances, modest GDP. And they're 9.18 million ounces, or 286 tons. That's worth about almost $12 billion. But that means that their gold reserves are almost 40% of overall reserves, 36.7% to be as precise as I can calculate it. In contrast, even though Russia has a lot of gold, but they also have a lot of reserves, their reserve position in gold is 18%. Now, the People's Bank of China, for what they list, not very much. They got about $80 billion worth of gold, but they have like 3 trillion now, over 3 trillion in overall reserves. So they've only got about 2% of their money in gold. Even if you add in gold that is elsewhere in the country, not on the balance sheet, let's say you get them to 10,000 tons, that gold is worth about 400 billion. Again, not very much, because most of the reserves, 2/3 or so of China's reserves, are in U.S. Treasuries and dollar-denominated assets. So the whole China's got gold, yeah, but as a percentage of everything else they've got, they don't have much, even if you add in all the gold that everyone calculates that's in the country, and you just say, okay, now that all belongs to the People's Bank of China, it's not that much. You'd have to revalue gold even 10 times the price. And still, it wouldn't be that much. It would still be about $1 trillion, which you're starting to get into big numbers. But remember, we're not doubling the price. We're not tripling the price. No, we're tripling the price to get to that number. I'm sorry, not 10 times. If you triple the price of gold, China's gold at 10,000 tons, if they indeed have 10,000 tons they can scrap together, would only be worth a little over $1 trillion. So this highlights that gold right now, as the percentage of overall reserves in the system, is a small amount. But that's really because, and people make this point all the time, the price of gold is pretty cheap, $1,300. You really need, and that was one of the reasons they went off one of the problems they were having with the gold standard is they had it at $35 set, and there just wasn't enough gold to be trading back and forth at the prices of the international trade, as the trade had grown since 1934 when the price was $35. By 1970, it was still $35, but of course trade had ballooned and the price of gold had not. So one can make an argument that the price of gold needs to expand, not just so that there's reserved assets, if people want to trade gold. It's just not at the same percentage of overall reserves. When I say reserves, I don't mean reserves in the bank. I mean of overall assets that are in the system. Gold is a very, very small part of that. And part of that is the reason is the price. Everything else has grown up around it. And additional gold mining supply doesn't really even keep up. And clearly the price doesn't either. So here's your gold holding nations, 11 to 20. You could see Kazakhstan has moved in. Now here's something interesting. Next month they'll definitely pass Lebanon unless something happens and they don't add gold. When I say next month, it'll be in November when they'll report September numbers. But here's what's going to happen. UK, because they sold all their gold about 15, 20 years ago, they're stuck at 310. They're not adding any. So little Kazakhstan is going to pass United Kingdom probably sometime in 2018. I think that will be an embarrassing moment. I think it's embarrassing as it is that the United Kingdom is supposedly one of these global financial centers, and they're behind Venezuela, Portugal, Turkey, Taiwan. India, surprisingly, doesn't have that much in terms of its central bank, only 558 tons. But in the country, there's 18 to 20,000 tons estimated in private hands and in the hands of, or on the sites of the temples. Now, if you're interested in adding gold to your own portfolio, you can do so at the links below and also on the Smaulgld site. You can compare pricing and shipping at SD Bullion, BGSC, Gold and Eagle Coins, Money Metals Exchange. Not investment advice to buy gold or silver, but if you're interested in buying it, you can do so through the sites, through the links on the site, and you compare pricing and shipping, and you pay no more nor less than if you visited those sites directly. And the best part is, after you've made a good deal for yourself, Smaulgld gets a small commission on your purchases. There's Ethereum's having a big day today. It's up like 11%. And gold is having a good day today. And Litecoin's having a good day today. And silver's having a good day today. And Smaulgld patrons. Nope. Actually, I'm at 10 now. I only have 10 patrons. So maybe you want to make it a good day for Smaulgld patrons as well. Thank you very much.